Hey everyone, FB here to bring you a cast of the ESL Stadium Nations Challenge 2015 group stage match between Sweden and Portugal. This is Playday 3 of Group B, where top 2 will advance to the playoffs. And last week, Sweden won against Hungary with a score of 19-10, France defeated Portugal with a 21-2 score, and Austria versus the Baltics ended in a draw. With those results, France and Sweden both got 2 wins, but it is France who are still topping the group with a better score difference than Sweden. Portugal is at third with 1 win, 1 loss, followed by Austria and the Baltics, who both got 1 draw, 1 loss. And at the bottom is Hungary, who is without any points so far. As for the format, the matches are played in 3 sub-matches, 1 tech map, 1 dirt map and 1 speed map. A 4 vs 4 format is used on all 3 maps and is always played to 7. For this tournament though, it doesn't matter how many maps you win, instead every round counts as a point. And whoever got the most combined points after the 3 maps have been played will be the winner. And I believe we will have still a couple of warm-ups. The match is a bit delayed, as you have noticed. It says 2 warm-ups now by default, even though we've had 2 warm-ups already. But I think he was AFK, so I guess we'll give him 2 more warm-ups and then we'll hopefully start. So we're gonna start here on the tech map, which is this one, Youngster Joey by MC Java. And the world record is 53.725 by Poker. And we are using a server that doesn't have fast, so we'll have to look at the that is this way, just to have something to talk about before we start. So we see here that Penta Poker got the fastest time. Let's see if we have any players from Sweden or Portugal in this list. Doesn't look like it on the first page, and on the second we do have Vet at top 20 with 53.88. And that's about it, it seems. Okay, you see more than top 30 here actually. So you might see some other players. Goes to 45, that's new to me. I thought it was only top 30, but yeah, I only see Vet in the top 30, so no idea how this will go, but the lineup seems to be more or less ready for Sweden. It's gonna be Slink, Razor, Warlord and Vet, and for Portugal we got Default, Whisper, Shout and Batu. Okay, and we're gonna have 1 more warm-up before we start. And if anyone knows how to remove this click here to play widget, that would be cool. Otherwise I might just remove the HUD. But yeah, of course, Sweden looking to win this match, wants to get that top 2 position to qualify to the playoffs. Did reach the grand final in last edition, lost against Germany, who are playing in the other group. But that's gonna be it, I think. Nope, it's not. Okay. So this will drag on a bit more. But hopefully it's not gonna take too long before we start. Okay, so the top 30 is correct, but the other times above it are not for some reason. Interesting. Yeah, I'm used to fast on the servers, so that always shows only top 30. I wish actually that the Daddy would show like top 100 or something. Top 30 seems a bit too limited to me. Would be nice if it could be raised. But it's always been 30 like for years. And of course this is an important match for Portugal as well. As I mentioned, they got 1 win and 1 loss. So this they can't really afford to lose this one if they want to get into the top 2. So we'll see how it goes, but I believe that's gonna be the final warm-up, and we will start this ESL Stadium Nations Challenge group stage match between Sweden and Portugal, the tech map. Youngster Joey will be played first, and the lineups are for Sweden Slink, Razor, Warlord and Veit. And for Portugal we got Default, Whisper, Shout and Batu. And we are live into the first round, following Slink, who plays for AT Gaming. It's Whisper though who takes the lead together with Batu. Whisper with a small bump, so he will fall down in the rankings. Slink will take over that first place. Veit will go up to second place. So top 2 Sweden right now. Razor goes up to third place, so this will be a point for Sweden. And again, it's the points that matters, not the map wins. We'll see where the fourth player is. Warlord is a bit further back, but still doing quite well. Veit will drop down here. Whisper, Shout and Default will pass him, but Slink and Razor still remaining top 2. Coming up to the final corners here. Slink has built up quite a lead. And a good turn there from Warlord, but in the next turn the 3 Portugal players will pass him. Still should be a point for Sweden. Slink wins it, 54.20 ahead of Razor. Then Default, Shout, Whisper, Warlord and Veit will follow, and that's gonna be a point for Sweden, who takes the lead. Alright, into the second round, following Warlord this time. See that Razor is at the bottom right now for Sweden, together with Batu for Portugal. Oh, small bump for Shout. So he will drop down to the bottom as well. Warlord still keeping a good position, good speed here in the turn. Slink goes up to second place. Default with a great turn there, and Slink will clip the wall. So he will fall down to 8th position, I believe. This is a really close round again, but it is top 2 for Sweden this time. It's Veit and Warlord who are doing well, but Default is there as well, and now he goes up to first place as well with one last turn, and Default will take it. Will this be a point for Portugal? That is the question. Yes, it will, so they will tie up the score. (1-1), and yeah, these two teams seem pretty close in skills. Of course, Sweden not having perhaps their best tech player in Lund driving, which would have been good. Oh, as Veit will get a slowdown, hits the wall. Razor is at 4th place. Once again, Warlord with a good start. Where's Slink? He's far behind. Which is not exactly what Sweden needs. And it's once again Default who is doing well for Portugal. Shout not far behind in top 2 for Portugal now. Could take over the lead. Oh, Razor maybe went a bit too wide there. Recovers nicely in the next corner and builds up a lot of speed. Might be able to pass Shout in the end. Yes, he will. Will that make a difference though? Oh, Warlord, Veit and Slink ahead of Whisper and Batu. And I believe that will make it a point for Sweden, who are back in the lead. So yeah, I don't think I can see like the round scores or the team scores with Axaseco. Maybe there's a way, but I don't know how. As we are live into the 4th round, Team Sweden in the lead with 2-1 on the tech map. Following Razor gets a good start. Batu at last place. Warlord just ahead of him. Razor continues to drive well, has built up a significant lead. And Veit will go up to 2nd place. Slink is also up there, top 3 for Sweden. Can take a 2-point lead. Slink will join up with Razor, who is lagging a bit, but he's still going strong. Coming up to the last turn, Razor and Slink will get top 2. Razor has to slow down there. That's gonna allow someone to pass him. Yes, Veit and Default passing him, but it's still going to be a blue point here. Whisper missed the end. Will take a point for his team, but Sweden wins the round and are now in the lead with 3-1. Again, playing to 7. 3 maps. Oh, and did someone crash there? Yes, it was but 2 in the start for Portugal, but then Racer will also hit the wall for Sweden. In the top, it's Vet leading ahead of Whisper for Portugal. Slink and Warlord in the top for Sweden. Default and Shout a bit further behind. And then we see also Batu and Racer. Oh, as Vet goes too wide and will end up clipping the wall. Warlord at first place. Link and Default battling for second. Good speed by Default over the blue floor. Should still be a point for Sweden, I believe. Default will lose a bit of his grip there, but not enough for Slink to pass him. And this will end in a draw. Both teams with the same amount of points, so the score will stay at 3-1. Live into the next round. Slink has been doing well in certain rounds and then not so good in others. And we'll get a good start in this round together with Default, Warlord and Whisper for Portugal. Slink goes wide, builds up good speed and will take over first place. Shout has dropped down for Portugal. And it's once again advantage Sweden. Can take a 3-point lead. Warlord and Racer will allow Default and Whisper to pass them. But since Link and Vet are doing well here, I believe this will be a round for Sweden. Top 2, Slink wins at 54.11, great time. Ahead of Vet with 54.22. And then Racer and Warlord ahead of Batu and Shout, and the score is now 4-1. Sweden 3 points away from winning the tech map. Oh, and that was Shout again for Portugal, not having a good start. Oh, as Link is now the one hitting that wall in that corner. Oh, and Whisper goes straight into the wall in the following turn. So he will be miles away everyone else. In the meantime, we got Default and Vet fighting for first place, with Default currently winning that fight. Ah, not the best turn there from Vet. Got a huge bump from the Ramstein. And it's Default who is leading for Portugal. Who's behind him is Racer at second, followed by Warlord and Batu. This could go either way, I feel. Actually, we see that Slink and Vet are following behind them, so should still be a round for Sweden as Racer is able to sneak up and pass Default in the final turn. And that should definitely make it another point for Sweden. 5-1 now. And following this tech map, I believe we are playing the dirt map because Rox, who plays speed for Sweden, will be late. I believe we are playing dirt next. Oh, and that was a Swedish player in the start, was it not? Yes, it was Warlord, who's now will be far behind the rest. Racer in the lead. Vet goes up to second place. Was able to get back on the track and stays in the top. Shout doing better now. As we see Racer with a bit of lag again, but it's top 2 Sweden. Oh, followed by all 4 Portugal players, I think, which would mean it's gonna be a draw. Let's see what will happen. Shout will attack, passing Vet. Default and Whisper also passing Vet, so this will be a red point instead, despite Racer winning with a time of 54.19. So Portugal takes their second point, putting the score at 5-2. See if Portugal can win any more rounds here. It feels like they could, to be honest. It's been close rounds. Great start here for Vit. Also plays for AT Gaming, as does Slink. Will take a solid lead as we are halfway through the next round. Racer coming up behind him. And will also pass him. That was extremely close. The Racer would hit the wall. But he stays alive, and it's top 2 for Sweden. Followed by Batu and Slink. Then Default, Warlord, Whisper and Shout. Quite far behind the rest. Vit going for a different line. Batu will come up to first place. But it's it's 3 Swedish players following him. Here comes Default as well. Maybe able to pass Vit. No, great finish from Vit. And he stays in front, making it a round for Sweden. 6-2 now, map point on the tech. We'll see if Portugal can get a 3rd point, or if Sweden will close it out. Here we go, potentially the final round on the first map. Vit had a great start in the previous round, and he's getting a decent start again. In fact, all 4 Swedish players are off to a good start. Slink and Warlord doing the best, but Vit and Racer not far behind. Oh, but then Vit will crash. Is anyone behind him? Yes, Shout and Whisper for Portugal. And it's top 3 for Sweden, led by Warlord and followed by Slink and Racer. Sweden on their way to win the tech map with a score of 7-2, unless something dramatic happens here in the end. Batu is the closest one for Portugal, but he is far behind Slink, Warlord and Racer, who jumps into the finish and will take on the tech map for Sweden. 7-2. There we go. Alright, so moving on, and I believe the next map will be Dirt. But I might be wrong about that. Alright, yeah, I think Sweden wants Dirt first. Since Rox is not here yet. Okay, so Portugal are missing 2 players for Dirt. So that's why they want to play full speed first. But we are missing Rox for speed, so we want to play Dirt first. Not sure actually who will decide the order. I'm gonna ask here if there's a rule about it. Probably not a rule, but I think there should be a rule in these kind of situations. Yeah, anyways. Well, anyway, I'm not even like involved in the teams. I shouldn't even take the discussion. But yeah, of course, it's not. You know, both teams want to, of course, have a full lineup for the maps. I mean, that's creating a kind of a tricky situation. But I guess we're playing the full speed track since Portugal are hosting the server. Yeah, I guess that's gonna be the case. Too bad, because Rox is, you know, our best speed player. So that might give Portugal a chance to to do well. I'm not sure actually how good of a speed team they have. I know Sweden are pretty good. Not a top tier, but kind of like in the top middle of the rankings if you rank the teams. So yeah, we're waiting for Rox to arrive, but not sure when he will arrive. And maybe Portugal knows that we are missing Rox as well, so they are not going to allow us to play Dirt first because they know Rox is our best player. Okay, he's coming in like 8 minutes. But yeah, I don't know if we should wait for him. Could be an option. We'll see what Portugal says. Of course, hopefully he will come at that time as well. So there might be a bit of a delay. Okay, here he is. Rox is here, so I guess we are saved, but of course that's great for Sweden. Rox will play. And we should go live momentarily. Should give a couple of warm-ups for Rox first. Sniffs wants to give him 1 warm-up. That's very generous. So yeah, we'll start soon. Let's see what the lineups will be. Well, I guess I can't say because we have more than 4 players for each nation. But very soon we'll find out. So I believe we'll have 1 warm-up here for Rox, who just got on the server, so he might not be as ready for the match. We'll see how he will do with just this brief amount of warm-up. Well, that's his warm-up, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. So I guess Plutten and Rox will play for sure for Sweden, and then I'm not sure who the other players will be. And for Portugal we got Fusar, Kazarov, Anukin, Mang and Default. Maybe Default is the one who's not playing since he is normally a tech player. Alright, I guess we'll start then. Yep, there we go. Good luck, have fun. So Rox will not get any sort of warm-ups. Yeah, I guess we're live here. Plutten, Fullfart, Bogot, Ave and Rox playing for Sweden, and for Portugal we still got 5 players. No, we got 4 now. Fuse R, Kazarov, Anukin and Mang. And we are live into the first round following Mang, who takes the lead. But not anymore. Instead it is Fuser together with Rox. Mang will fall down in the rankings. And again, in speed it's important that you build up the speed drift in each corner. That's what will be the main factor as to how good you will do. You saw Rox going for a bit of a zigzag technique there, just to try to get as much speed drift as possible. He is in the lead, but Kastorov is just behind him, and he will pass, but then he falls out of the track, and he's not gonna get any points. Rox takes the win, Plutten second, ahead of Fuser at third, Anukin at fourth, Ave at fifth, and Fullfart Pocket at sixth. So we had both Kastorov and Mang not finishing. And now they thought trying to get it be a warm-up for Rox, but no, it's live, and Sweden are in the lead with 1-0, and that means it's 8-2. since the points are carrying over from the tech map. So Rock seems to be doing well despite not getting any warm-up. And we are live into the second round. Oh, as Ave hits the wall and he's out of the track. So one player down for Sweden. See if Portugal can take advantage of that. Fuser in the lead ahead of Rox. See Full Fart Bokut at 7th. Oh, seems like Anuken... No, wait, Anuken is here. He's actually in the lead right now. Side by side with Rox! But a huge crash before the wall ride for Anuken. Rox now alone in the top. Platten goes up to 2nd. Full Fart Bokut is up to 4th. And it may be another point here for Sweden. But you never know in speed, a lot can happen. Oh, okay, yeah, no. Rox did hit the finish, I thought he missed it. 50.98 by Rox, and Sweden with 2 points. 9-2 in the total score. Starting the third round, following Anuken for Portugal, who crashed out of the round. See if you can do better now. Gets the promising start. Takes the lead here, but I think Rox might come back. No, it's Fuser who passes him. Where is Rox, by the way? He's in the middle of the pack. It's Kasarov and Anuken, top 2. And also Fuser is up there, so this could be Portugal's first point. Rox seems to be doing this part good. Platten goes up to... Oh, but now it's Rox who crashes before the wall ride. And he's not going to be able to get any points. Platten has taken over the lead, so maybe someone from Portugal crashed. It's definitely possible. Kasarov and Fuser are 2nd and 3rd. Oh, this is gonna be a red point for sure. Anuken at 4th and Mang at 5th place. Putting the score at 9-3. Off we go again, following Platten this time, who has been doing well. Not been crashing out of the track yet either. I think that is really important on the full speed tracks, just trying to be stable and not crashing. It's easier said than done, of course. Platten takes the lead here together with Rox. Then Ave can go up to 3rd place. Full Fart Bokut at 5th together with Kasarov. This looks very good for Sweden. This may have some Portugal players crashing. Can't see the live scores, of course, so it's hard to say. But yes, it looks like Anuken is far behind. And then also Fuser, maybe. Platinum Rox, 1st and 2nd. 51.15 by Rox. 0.17 by Platten. And then Full Fart Bokut at 4th. And Ave at 6th. 10-3 now for Sweden. In the lead with 7 points. It's a good thing Rox did join the server before it started, because otherwise probably would have been much more difficult for Sweden to win this full speed track. Takes the lead here in the next round. We see Mang at the bottom. Oh! Rox crashing. Of course, may drive a bit more risky. And this track seems to have some difficult parts. Fuser instead in the lead now. Full Fart Bokut goes up to 2nd place though, ahead of Anuken. Ave is there together with Anuken. Could maybe pass him. Anuken goes too wide and he's out. Let's see. Full Fart Bokut takes 2nd. Ave at 3rd. Fuser will win it. It's gonna be a red point. Only 4 players finishing this round. Or 5 players rather. 3 from Portugal and 2 from Sweden. So Portugal with their 4th point now. But Rox and Platten not able to finish that round. Full Fart Bokut with a good start. Can play pretty much all the styles. Also been pretty successful in my race, which of course is played on all the styles. Haven't seen him play in that race though in quite a while. Rocks with a huge lead ahead of Full Fart Bucket at second place. Seems like all 4 players for Sweden are still driving, but then just as I said that, Ave is out on the grass. Rocks still keeping that important first place. Full Fart Bucket seems to be second. Platten can maybe go up to third. Oh, he's at second even. And yeah, it's gonna be top 3 for Sweden. Rocks with another time under 51. Platten at 0.19 and Full Fart Bucket at 0.32. And of course Portugal at some point cannot come back in this match. And I think it could be close to that right now if Sweden keeps on winning the rounds. Fuser goes up to first place. Oh, but that was short-lived. He will fall out. And instead it's Rocks in the lead. Kasarov at second place for Portugal. Then we see the 3 other Swedish players as Platten will hit something in that loop. And he will crash out. Still advantage for Sweden though, with Ave and Full Fart Bucket at third and fourth place. Rocks nearing the end. Another solid time there. Kasarov will take second, but Ave and Full Fart Bucket third and fourth. And here's Anukin trying to turtle into the finish, but he is a full speed player and not an RPG player, so he's not able to do it. And Sweden now in the lead with 5-2 on the full speed track, 12-4 in the total score. So 2 points away from winning this other track, the second track. First one was Tech 1, of course, which was won with a score of 7-2. Could be the same one on this one as well. It's Rocks in the lead, Platten at second, and Full Fart Bucket keeping a third place ahead of Mang and Kasarov. It seems like Ave is out, also Fuser and Anukin, so lots of crashes here in the start. Rocks surviving that, looked very risky, went super close to the wall. Platten will catch up to him slightly. Saw Ave there in the background, so he's not gonna get any points for Sweden. But this is still looking promising. Top 3. Rocks wins at 50.98, Platten 51.03 and Full Fart Bucket 51.23. 13-4. And yeah, basically if Sweden wins this next round, then Portugal have lost the match already before the last sub-match has been played. So they need to win now. It's following Platten this time. Will go up to third place, it looks like. Fourth place now, Full Fart Bucket with good speed. Rocks at first place. Anukin and Mang doing well, but then Anukin in a flash is out, he's already retired. Sign of defeat perhaps. We'll see if Sweden can close it out now. Ave again not able to finish, but it might not matter. Platten, Full Fart Bucket following Rocks. Sweden on their way to win the full speed track as well. Here's the final loop. Rocks wins it, 50.94. Platten at second, Full Fart Bucket at third place, and that's gonna be it. Sweden wins the speed track with a score of 7-2. And that means they have already won the match as well. But we'll of course play the dirt map, which we'll move on to now. The dirt map is called Huracan, made by Dolph, and the world record is 56.696 by Beppino. Or maybe it's an 8, can't say for sure. I also forgot to take a look at the speed map. I guess we could do that now, since I wasn't sure if that one would be played or the dirt track. But yeah, the speed map was called Hiroshima, made by Meusberger. And the world record here was 50.11 by Kid. But yeah, now we're gonna play the dirt track. And the dirt players are getting on the server. For Sweden, it's gonna be Comhem, Klockren, Gus, and Duffen, I believe. I don't think Wheeler is playing, but I might be incorrect about that. So yeah, the score difference could be important. Right now, of course, France are leading the group if they are winning their match this week. And they have a better score difference, so they could take that first place and get the better seed into the playoffs. So Sweden wants to try and get as good of a score difference here in an attempt to past France. But of course, like, Sweden versus France will be very important. It could end in a draw, and then I think score difference could be decisive. But whoever wins that match likely will be the winner of the group. So we are doing a couple of warm-ups. Portugal got their lineup ready as well. It's gonna be Sniffs, Tallulah, Icarus, and Default driving. I wonder if Sweden are playing against France next week, perhaps? Or maybe it's the Baltics. Those are the two nations Sweden have not played against. As we are waiting here for this final sub-match to start, just a reminder that later tonight at 8:30 PM CST I will be casting Penta versus Fun Team in ESL CPS 15. As I get confirmation here that France will be the opponents next week for Sweden. So yeah, that's gonna be a really important match, which I will be casting, of course. Let's see if this might be the final warm-up, or maybe one more will follow. But yeah, of course, Sweden got a very strong dirt team. Gus and Duffen especially are really good. Klockren also with some skills, and so does Comhem. But Duffen and Gus are the ones that are usually doing the best for Sweden. And Sweden may have the best dirt team, at least if you base it on the previous or last year's tournament, because then Sweden were dominating in the dirt. Alright, that might be the last one. Yes, good luck, have fun. So we'll play this final sub-match now. Sweden have already won the match, 14-4 is the score, so if Portugal wins with 7-0, it's still not going to be enough to catch up to Sweden. But Sweden wants to get as good of a score here, of course, since the score difference might be decisive in the group. And here we go, live into the first round, following Klockren for Sweden, as he gets a good start. Not the best exit though. Sniffs and Gus, also Duffen, are in front of him. It's a good start here for Team Sweden, and just as I said that, Duffen with a sudden slowdown. Gus and Klockren though remaining in the lead. Comhem, oh, Klockren right into the checkpoint, so two Swedish players down. We see a wall hit there, which will be successful for Gus, but not for Comhem, so only one player for Sweden remaining. Duffen coming back here though, goes up to third place, could still be a point for Sweden. Oh yes, Duffen can overtake Sniffs, who will hit the wall there, so top two for Sweden. Driving into the finish, Gus and Duffen takes the most points. And Sweden wins the first round of this dirt map, 15-4 now. And we are moving straight into the second round, following Icarus this time for Portugal. Plays for ATR. Will fall down a bit in the group. 5th place or so, it's Gus in the lead, Clockrin at 2nd. Duffin avoiding the wall this time, but maybe went a bit too safe, so he will fall down here to last place. No one is behind him. Closest one is Default. Duffin goes for the wall hit and it pays off, but he doesn't pass anyone, maybe in the next corner. Yes, he's ahead of Default now, but then hits the wall. Of course, in these dirt tracks, you want to go as close to the walls as possible, and it's not that easy. Icarus hitting the wall like at that turn where Sniffs did in the previous round. Here comes Clockrin with good speed in the end. Oh, but then he gets a landing bug, so Sniffs will take 2nd place after all. But despite that, it will be a point for Sweden, 16-4. Moving on to the 3rd round. Following Sniffs. See that Tallulah will take the lead just ahead of Gus. Good speed here from Snuffs. Or Sniffs rather. Oh, as we saw Tallulah and Gus with a bad corner, so Sniffs can go up in the lead together with Duffin. Then we see Clockrin and Icarus following them. Sniffs opting to not go for that wall hit, and it looked like it paid off, to be honest. I wonder how much faster that wall hit is. Doesn't really seem like it's worth it, but of course I'm not really a dirt player. Sniffs continues to have trouble with this corner, but it's Icarus who passes him. None from Sweden, but then he's in the wrong gear here in the end. And lots of blue players will pass him. Clockrin, Gus and Comhem, and it will be a point for Sweden, 17-4. So Portugal still looking to win their first point here. It's another good start from Sniffs, as he's been having some problem with the end. Good turn there from Gus. See also Comhem and Clockrin and Duffin following. Duffin can go up to 1st place as well. Sniff still keeping that 2nd place, but not for too long. He's surrounded by the blue players. Well, they are yellow here, but Swedish players, Sniffs again in the same place, crashing, and it's top 4 for Sweden. Will take an ace here in the dirt map. Duffin wins it, 57.23, Gus 0.44, Clockrin 0.57, and Comhem with 0.62. And it's 18-4 now. Waiting for the next round to start. .40 on the dirt map. And again, preferably Sweden wants to win as many rounds as they can without losing any. Duffin with a super start takes the early lead. Clockrin at 2nd. Then we do see Comhem and Gus far back. Could maybe open it up for a draw if the 4 Portugal players are in front, but no, Sniffs is at the bottom. So this looks good for Sweden with Clockrin and Gus in the lead. We see Comhem with another bad wall hit, maybe. He is at 4th place though. So we continue to follow Duffin and Clockrin. Duffin hits the wall. Tallulah can pass him. Comhem will also pass him. Clockrin keeping that 1st place though, as he jumps to the finish. Who's gonna win this one? It will be for Sweden, but that was a close one. Very, very close round. 5-0. (19-4) in the total score. Sweden 2 points away from winning the third sub-match as well. Won the tech map with 7-2 and the dirt map with 7-2 as well. Oh, both Clockren and Sniffs did clip the wall. Got enough speed to make the drop at least. As they're going up the slope. In the top we got Icarus leading for Portugal. Gus though with some good speed over the stretch. Here's the wall hit again. Duffin now in the lead. Gus seems to have maybe nudged the wall. Tallulah passing him and Icarus going up in the lead. Could be an important first place if he keeps it to the end. Duffin at second. Gus, where is he? Can he go up to third place perhaps? Yes he will. And it will be another point for Sweden, who have now reached 20 points. I think that was very important that Gus was able to take that third place. So, 6-0. This could be the final round of the match. Portugal maybe not looking as good on this dirt map as they did on the tech and full speed. I thought they played pretty good on those. And of course they got 2 points, but were close to winning several other rounds as well. But here it's not looked as good, and we see the 4 Swedish players. No, actually, Comhem is not with them, but there's 3 Swedish players in the top, led by Duffin, who gets a good wall hit. Gus with a bad wall hit. Comes back strongly though in the next round. Only Sniffs is there for Portugal. Icarus a bit behind now. No one hitting the wall! Gus though will hit the edge and will fall down. That could make it a point for Portugal. I think it will be actually. Clockren wins. No, he doesn't. Icarus defeats him. And that will make it a point for Portugal. We'll see if that will make any difference in the group results. But yeah, the last round can always be a bit difficult to win. For some reason. I don't know, it's always the case. Oh, that was very unfortunate for Duffin. Not sure what happened, but he had his wheels getting stuck or something. We see Sniffs falling down, taking over the last position. Clockren seems to be in the lead. There goes Default. Duffin passing him. Goes up to 6th place. Sniffs and Default at the bottom. See who's in the lead. It's Gus and Clockren coming up to this wall hit again. Bad wall hit for Gus. Icarus can go up to 2nd place. But again, Gus does the next corner good. And he is up there, and this might be it. Clockren with a solid lead. Icarus might be able to take 2nd place, but it's Gus and Comhem following. Also Duffin is next, and that's gonna be it. Sweden will take it. Wins the dirt map with a score of 7-1. And that's gonna put the total score at 21-5. After also having won the tech map and the dirt map, or this full speed track, I mean, with scores of 7-2. So that's gonna be it. Before I go, we can just take a quick look at the group. So Sweden will have 3 wins now and 9 points, and we'll see how France will do. But as you can see, they have a much better score difference, so it's likely that they will still be at 1st place. But yeah, the next match will be Sweden versus France. Likely on Sunday, the next Sunday at the same time. So that's gonna be it. I'll be back later tonight with Penta versus Fun Team in ESL CPS 15, but until then I'll take a little break, so stay tuned if you want, but I'm gonna head off now for a while. So thanks for watching everyone, see ya!